America leads the world in medicine development. It matters. We get new medicines first, nearly 3 years faster. 5 million Americans go to work because we make medicines here at home. And not relying on other countries keeps us safe. But China is racing to overtake us. Will we let them, or will we choose to stay ahead? When America leads, America cures. Let's tell Washington to keep us in the lead.
Learn how at americacures.com. Paid for by Pharma.
Protein is now at Starbucks, and it's never tasted so good. You can add protein cold foam to your favorite drink or try one of our new protein lattes or matcha. Try it today at Starbucks.
Breaking news, Roy is out, so no structure, no rules, so this is going to be the most dangerous episode of the hockey show.
ما في وقت للعب 9-1 كونتينيو يجي نار من استوديو وطني ولا لازم شولف.
Hi, welcome to the Hockey Show. I'm David. On the other side of the glass is our driver today. That's Rose. Rose is going to be taking over in just a second. In the back, we have Ethan and Jason holding it down for us. But Roy, we miss you. You're sick. It sucks. Get better soon.
You make it sound like he's dying. He's not dead.
You miss
He's very
Adnan.
much still alive. And you missed
he's not
Adnan.
dead.
I did. I'm sorry.
Crazy.
We have a guest host today since Roy's not here, and it's Adnan. Adnan Virk, MLB
Hi,
Network.
everybody.
Prime Hockey is here to help me get through this. And on that note, Rose, take it away.
Okay, so before we start, we want to just take a minute for Jessie Pierce and her kids because they died on a fire last week. Was it last week?
Yes.
So
earlier this week.
Earlier this week. So we just want to take a moment there. Yeah.
That one hurt, man. That was rough.
Tragic story, no question about it. I mean, 3 kids dying in a fire like that. It's just an awful, awful story.
Yeah, a lot of the Wild were in town last night, so a lot of the Minnesota media were here. I was talking to a few of them after the game, and it's just an awful, awful story. It's nice to see that the hockey world has kind of rallied around the Wild, the family. That's always nice to see, but this one, it really gutted me, Adnan.
Yeah. I mean, Michael Russo, I'm a huge fan of, does a great job, obviously, covering the Wild. Once I saw his tweets about it, I was just in shock. And it's really unimaginable. I mean, for any of us who have kids to suffer this kind of atrocity, it's just tragic. So rest in peace to Jessie and obviously her children.
Amen. So after that, we have, and we're entering this period of time where teams are downfalling. So I'm going to give you some stats, and then I'm going to ask you, boys, because the Red Wings lose back-to-back games, 13 of their last 20 games. Then you have the Kraken that lost 4 in a row before their Tampa win last night. Same with the Kings, lost 4 in a row until they beat the Canucks. Canucks?
No, you got it, the Canucks.
Penguins lost 11 of their 19 games, and Sydney left the game with an injury. And then you have the Sharks with losing 6 in a row and knocking themselves from the playoff contention. So now I ask you, which of these teams are already lost and which ones just had a bad week?
Oof, that's tough, Rose. I wanted to say the Sharks were going to be bouncing back, but they've really kind of screwed themselves with their losing streak. The Kings always seem to be meandering around the playoffs. I feel like they're probably going to find a way in. But the team that I just can't stop staring at, Adnan, and the one that just really surprised me this year, and maybe, it's fool me once situation, but the Detroit Red Wings, this is a team that I thought was in the driver's seat for so much of the season. I mean, they were tied with Carolina for first in the East as recently as January 25th, which is 2 months ago. That's not that long ago, with a giant Olympic break in the middle. I was just kind of went down the rabbit hole a little bit yesterday, but since the Olympics, they're 5-6-2. Under 500, not good enough. They've dropped from second in the division when the Olympic break started to all the way out of the playoffs now. I think they're 2 points back of the Islanders.
3 points back of a playoff spot currently.
Oh, God. 3 points back of the Islanders.
With 2 games in hand, to be fair to them.
Their scoring has fallen off a cliff, though. They're 31st in goals per game over the last 6 weeks at 2.22 goals per game. Their power play is third from bottom in the league, 13%. Their trade deadline ads, Justin Falk, David Perron, they haven't done much. So I don't know how Detroit's going to bounce back from this, but this would be the third straight year where they've been in a playoff spot for much of the year, and then down the stretch, they just fell off a cliff.
Yeah, I remember talking to Todd McClellan, their head coach, in late January, right around the time you were talking about when they were just rolling. And he said, the key is coming out of the Olympic break in March, you're basically playing 14 games in 31 days. You're playing every other night. And he was well aware of the fact, you look at the record of the Detroit Red Wings the last 3 years, March has been like that cliche, in like a lion, out like a lamb. They've been off on the month of March. And so Todd was well aware of the fact, hey, we got to avoid that pitfall again, even when as well as we're playing. And what's happened, they've again fallen apart in March, coming at Olympic break. Losing Dylan Larkin hurts. I totally get it. Mo Seider for much of the season looking at a Norris Trophy candidate. John Gibson was a terrific pickup for much of the year, but they've completely fallen apart, as you said. It's not complete doom and gloom. As Ethan said, they do have a couple games in hand, but I think it's a big deal when you go from assured a playoff spot to on the brink to outside looking in. Like, once you start to need a little bit of help, it's tough. Fine, you win those 2 games in hand, theoretically you're 1 point up on the Islanders, but it's a logjam right now between the Islanders, the Senators, the Bruins, the Flyers even still alive. It's really been disappointing for Detroit, and you have to think, what does this mean for Steve Yzerman? This is year 9 of the Yzer plan. He's an all-time great player. We know he's beloved in Motown. We saw his success in the front office at Tampa Bay, but he has not turned around this Red Wings team, and clearly the criticism is on him. I don't know if he can survive this if the Red Wings fall out of the playoffs again.
Adnan, it's not only year 9 of the Yzer plan, it will be year 9 without the playoffs for a franchise that had made the playoffs 26 times in a row prior to this massive rebuild that they underwent, right? So this really feels like a make or break year for the Red Wings. And if they don't do it, considering how much breathing room they built up for themselves at the beginning of the year, and if they just epically collapse down the stretch like this and they don't make the playoffs, I mean, look, they still have a lot of great building blocks. Moritz Seider is a fantastic player. Lucas Raymond, Dylan Larkin, Alex DeBrincat's a great player. But it's almost like a where do you go from here? Like, something has to change. And I think they might have to take a big swing and say, look, I know we've got this pipeline that we love with all this talent in it, but it's time to take a swing and go after a big-time superstar to pair with this nice core that we have, because it's not working. Whatever they've been doing is not working, and they're falling apart. Like I said, luckily they built up a bunch of breathing room for themselves because they were one of the best teams in the league for the first couple of months of the season. But man, if they miss the playoffs, it'll be an absolute disaster.
Now, on the flip side, just kind of perusing the standings, you've got Anaheim, who have climbed the standings slowly but surely to where they're now in first place in the Pacific Division. And then, we've been talking about them a lot, but Buffalo just will not stop. They are now tied with Carolina for the top spot in the Eastern Conference. And also, we haven't mentioned them yet, but Columbus, now third in the division, 1 point back at Pittsburgh. They are right there. And what a fun story that has been in Columbus. I mean, Zach Werenski has been having a Norris-worthy season. It's just been a lot of fun watching them succeed, and I would love to see Columbus in the playoffs. Obviously, with all the Johnny Gaudreau stuff from last year, but how much fun would that be, Adnan, to see Columbus back in the postseason?
I'm with you, David. People have said that Columbus is one of the most irrelevant sports franchises. I mean, they've been around for 20 years, and they've won 1 playoffs. Yeah, they've won 1 playoff series in 25 years.
Sergei Bobrovsky.
Exactly. You go to Columbus. He did win the best. You go to Columbus, Ohio, and you go, okay, they're known for the Buckeyes. What else you got? The Blue Jays. We have a hockey team here. I'm like, oh yeah. So I'm like, I would love to see some love given to Columbus beyond the fact they have a cannon, which is obviously a great attraction there when you go to games. I think a lot of this goes to Rick Bowness. There's no question about it. With Dean Evison, the fact that they've got the stones to pull the plug and fire him midseason and bring in Bowness, and no bones about it. Rick has been tremendous. This guy's in his early 70s. He was on a boat with his wife, just enjoying life. He gets the phone call, took him about 10 seconds. He goes, I'm in. And they've taken off. He's a player-friendly coach, I should say. And they've had a lot more offense with him at the helm. They're playing loose, and yet they still have a structure, which is a tough thing to do. I'm with you. I think Columbus ends up being second in the Metro. I got the Penguins at third in the Metro. Columbus is going to be a playoff team, which you could not have said a couple of months ago. Full credit to Rick Bowness for the way he's turned it around.
How about the emergence of Adam Fantilli as well? This guy has really turned himself into a star player in this league. And you look at this lineup, like, this is a talented team. This is no team. Last year they kind of surprised everybody. People felt like they kind of rode the emotion of the Johnny Gaudreau tragedy into nearly making a playoff spot. And they've done the same exact thing this year in terms of they really struggled out of the gates, have been one of the hottest teams in the league the last couple months, and now they have themselves in a playoff spot. I agree with you, Adnan. I think they're going to sail by the Penguins here in the last couple couple weeks of the season, end up in the second spot in the Metro. And they're going to be a tough out for Carolina in that second round if they get past their first round matchup, whoever that may be. But there's not many players I love in the league right now more than Zach Werenski. Watching him is an absolute joy. And he's really parlaying what he did in the Olympics in terms of kind of maybe announcing himself to the general American public as a superstar in the NHL. He is an incredible player.
Yeah, I'm with you. Werenski's a guy, oftentimes the Norris, it becomes a popularity contest or people make it very easy on themselves. Well, there's nobody better than Cale Makar, Quinn Hughes. But if ever there's a year that Werenski was going to break that logjam of saying those two guys are always going to win the Norris, this would be that year, especially if Zach catapults his team to the playoffs. I think it'd be a great story to see him win the Norris. He was great a year ago, even better this year.
Okay, so we can say that the NHL is either broken or drunk or both. But since the Panthers are not defending the Stanley Cup, and Adnan, we know that your Leafs are not that good. We are going to do something.
Rosey, I'm a Flyers fan. That's an often mistake. I am from Toronto, but I'm a Flyers fan. But go ahead. The Leafs stink. I'm thrilled the Leafs are terrible. Go ahead.
Oh, beautiful. So your team is going to the playoffs, right?
No. Flyers right now have a 12% chance of making the playoffs. Still alive,
5 points out.
Okay.
5 points out with 11 games to go. So it's a very, very Panthers type of situation before the Paul Maurice Bill Zito era.
Oh, okay. So what we're doing here is each of us are picking a team emotionally of who we want to see in the playoffs, since the Panthers, they're not going to be there. And then in 2 weeks, when we do really have the teams, we're going to let the helmets pick our fate. But right now, I think we're going to go one-on-one to see who are they rooting for. And I'm going to read to you first Royce, because he sent it and he doesn't want anyone to take his. So Royce says, I'll start with the Buffalo Sabres. I've liked the Sabres since 1993, so there's history there for me. The NHL, quite honestly, is better when the Sabres are good. So that is Roy's pick. Ethan, what's yours?
Rosey, I am all in on the Minnesota Wild. They have some of my favorite players in the league when you talk about Kirill Kaprizov, Matt Boldy, Brock Faber, Quinn Hughes. I really love that combination of players, and they're just a fun team to watch. And the other team I'm really in...
Whoa. No. You're not taking two teams off the map. That's not...
There's two teams.
What is this?
There's two teams. I've claimed them months ago.
I don't care that there's two teams. You're not taking...
I claimed these teams months ago.
I swear to God.
Months ago. It's the Anaheim Ducks.
I knew it.
No, you don't get to
I'm going to take two teams.
Yeah. Let's pick everything now.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone gets to go one around. Then if the Ducks aren't taken, then Ethan can take
it.
Yeah, no.
The first team I'm taking is the Minnesota Wild. I love that team. I love that roster, and I really hope. I like new blood. I always am going to root for the new blood, and look, Colorado's a fun team, but I would rather see a new team like Minnesota rather than just watching the same old Colorado versus Edmonton or Dallas versus Edmonton in the Western Conference Final. Like, give me something new.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
all right.
Adnan, your turn.
So obviously I'm a Flyers fan. I'm cheering for Philly, but if I can't pick my team, I'll go with the Montreal Canadiens. There's nothing better than
good choice.
In Montreal, trying to get back to the playoffs. Obviously face the Leafs a season ago. Cole Caulfield, first 40-goal scorer for this Montreal team since Vincent D'Onofrio back in 93-94. That whole top line, by the way, is incredible. Slafkovsky's had a great season as well. Might be the top line of hockey. So Montreal has been a little bit up and down right now. They're third in the Atlantic. They got 90 points, 2 points up on Boston. Got to see the Habs in the playoffs. David?
I'm going to take a page out of Ethan's book. I'm going to take the Pacific Division as my playoff teams. Yeah. So, I'll take Anaheim. I like the Ducks a lot. I love, you okay back there, Rose?
Nice. Sorry, I was going to give you a second round, but it's taken.
That's fine. No. We only need one. No,
it's been really fun watching the Ducks this year. They off to a great start. They kind of fell off a little bit, but they bounced right back around, I guess, Valentine's Day when they really turned it back up in their corner. But, Cutter Gauthier is so much fun to watch. Leo Carlson, Lucas Dostal has been great in net, and you got to give Joel Quenneville some props. He's done a great job with the Ducks this year. So, and, at least they'll be in the playoffs for sure, so something to root for, but, yeah.
Shout out Leo Carlson, Cutter Gauthier. Who else? I love Jackson Lacombe on that team. That team is a fun watch.
Troy Terry, Chris Kreider, Chicken Wing Trouba.
Well, I'm going for, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, but I love the Ocean. So I'm going for the Seattle Kraken.
Wow.
They're 3 points
out. One squad.
That's a shocking choice. The Seattle Kraken are not a fun team to watch. Not an exciting team. Lane Lambert, forward defensive. I love Joey Decord because we had him on the podcast. Great guy, can handle the puck well. I love goalies that can handle the puck well. And John Forsland, of course, the voice of Kraken, my colleague and teammate on Prime. So those are the things I like about Seattle. But you're telling me as a hockey fan, Rosey, you want to see the Kraken in there?
Yeah, just because I love the ocean.
Rose, do you know the name of the Kraken mascot?
Wow.
I
no,
do.
but I know there was a very handsome guy that I don't think is there anymore.
Yeah, Vince Dunn. He's still there.
Vince Dunn, yeah.
Yeah,
his
he's
eyes,
still
I
there.
thought you were like sweet on Matty Beniers.
Can we just shout out real quick the Nashville Predators and the fact that they're currently holding down the final playoff spot in the Western Conference? A disaster last season, complete and utter disaster. Looked like they were heading for the same thing, and very quietly, I don't think we've talked about them on the show at all this year. Very, very quietly have played really well the back end of the season and currently find themselves 1 point up on the Los Angeles Kings for the final playoff spot. Now, they would run into the Colorado Avalanche in the first round, but still, what an accomplishment that would be for that team if they're able to rally and will themselves in the playoffs at the back end of the season.
Specifically, Ethan Stamkos has been revitalized. Look like he was done a season ago. He's actually a terrific season for them. I'm with you. Nashville, pretty shocking. Andrew Burnett has got that team. Looks like a playoff
Holy
team.
crap. Steven Stamkos has 36 goals this year.
Shocking.
What? How did I miss that?
The fact he could be a 40-goal scorer this year, like I'm stunned by it.
Where the hell did that come from? Props to you, Steven Stamkos. Oh, well, here we go. He's got 5 goals in his last 4 games, but still. Good God, man. Way to go.
Philip Forsberg also quietly with a 33-goal, 65-point season. That guy is a stud.
It's a mustache. It's a mustache power.
Okay, so those are our teams, and next 2 weeks we won't have control because the helmet is gonna tell us what, and we're gonna have to. I wish the Penguins get there and Roy gets the Penguins and he cannot change it because that's his helmet. I will love that. So maybe it happens, but.
Well, you control the bag, so
I know. Maybe I'll do something there.
Hey, Roy, buddy.
Yo.
You know that energy shift when the game gets good and everybody, all together, in unison, knows to stand up on their feet?
Oh, absolutely, Mike.
Yeah, you've been at many big-time sporting events. You know that moment quite well. That's what it's like when you take your first sip of Cuervo.
Oh, delicious.
It's the signal that says, we're not checking the time anymore, pal. It's when small talk turns into stories. Cuervo, man, it's that high-five a random stranger effect. That's right. The game is popping. You're hugging people you never met before. That's the kind of energy that Cuervo brings. It's so smooth, so delicious. That's the Cuervo effect. Keep it Cuervo.
You guys hear that? That's the sound of my calendar flipping over to March. Yes, I know March is more than halfway over. Don't bog me down with details. Just stick with me here because March means one thing. It means college basketball insanity. DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one sportsbook for live betting, is built for March. The tournament is unpredictable. Kind of like me, but the rewards are guaranteed. And DraftKings is delivering some of the most generous rewards on the market. Are you new to DraftKings? Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code DAN. That's code DAN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets instantly. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Hey, who wants to hear me do that crazy noise again? I do.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org on behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas. Wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
Going outside is so in during Springfest at Lowe's. For a limited time, get extra big deals on select Holland pavers, 3 for $1. Plus, save $70 on the Charbroil Performance 4-Burner Grill, now $179. And Chef Up shareables for your whole crew. Picture perfect patios and good food? Yes, please. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 3/30 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Paver offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Now we're gonna get to the Panthers then, because they're still playing. I don't know why. We suck.
Because you have to play 82 games, Rose. No matter what, you have to play 82.
I'll let you leave this, guys, because the only thing I want to see is Barkey.
Thank you.
Well, you might. I mean, there's still 11 games left, and he's been stating, he's going to show up, and there's not going to be anybody left. The Panthers lost another player last night, probably for the season. Evan Rodriguez broke his finger, so he joins an incredibly long list of players. Who's on this list, Ethan? We got Barkov, Reinhardt, Marchand, Rodriguez. Yep. Let's see.
Reinhardt's probably going to be out for the season at this point.
Balinskis, Schwint, Samaskevich, Gadovich.
Oh my God.
All these guys, long-term injuries. The Panthers still, give them credit. They're fighting back. Last night they were down 2-0. They fought back and almost forced the game to overtime, 3.5 seconds or whatever it was away. But one thing that I liked last night, Adnan and Ethan, when we were speaking to Matthew Tkachuk in the locker room, one of the things that he said was one of the reasons that they're still pushing so hard and that they're still kind of trying to do their thing is the culture that they've built in this team. Like, you can't compromise that right now with so many players that are there, from Charlotte, some of their young and up-and-coming guys. Like, they have to see that even when the chips are down, everybody in that locker room is still giving everything they have toward what this team tries to accomplish, and that's building toward the future. That's why this team is probably going to be a Stanley Cup contender for a long time. So even at a down moment, it was really kind of refreshing to hear Matthew Tkachuk say those things. But, man, it just feels like if there really is an injury bug, there must be a huge nest inside that locker room because they just won't leave.
Yeah, Tkachuk is like the last of the Mohicans at this point. Obviously missed by season. Now he's back. They're just hanging on valiantly. But you can really see in a quick way, David, they come back to being a Stanley Cup champion next season, right? It would be such an anomaly. But 3 straight Stanley Cup finals, back-to-back champions. You missed the playoffs because you hit hard by injuries, but then healthy and rejuvenated, you can still make a run next year. So this isn't like the end of a dynasty and you go, oh, man, let's just savor the good times and mourn the fact that this is over. I'm like, no, this is just a hiccup, an aberration, and hopefully Florida gets back to being the team that we all expect to be. I'm actually fascinated about Barkov if he comes back, because Jason Demers said to me back in February, my podcast partner, he's going to be back no matter what. I said, even if Florida's out of it, because even if Florida's out of it, he wants to just prove he can do it.
Yeah.
As a player, even if you could play 6 or 7 games, that's better than waiting 6 months and not coming back till September. So I'm really curious if Barkov plays. I think he will.
I don't see why he wouldn't. He's been working his ass off to come back for like 6 months now. So regardless of the season being over, the guy has been putting in the work. Let him go out there and skate for 10 games or 7 games or whatever it might be, just so we can do it 100%.
As a fan personally, though, I don't want to risk it because it scares me personally to have a guy with an ace. Like, if it's the playoffs, obviously.
Well, what
no
are you
doubt,
risking?
But
they're not going to let him back in unless he's 100% good to go.
That's totally fair, Dave.
This isn't a training camp practice. We don't have to worry about him tearing his ACL again. This is NHL hockey.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I just want to touch real quick on the idea of the Panthers and the tank and how what Tkachuk said. And they're in such a different spot than any other team is when they're out of it at this point in the season, usually, where, like Adnan said, they're a team that feels they could win the Stanley Cup next year. They could have won the Stanley Cup this year had they not been bitten by this crazy injury bug, one I've never seen the likes of before, really. So it will be interesting to see. They're going to play their asses off the next couple weeks, no matter what happens. But they do want to end up in that top 10 spot because that could be a huge asset that could help them win the Stanley Cup next year, one way or another.
Okay, it is time for Puck Luck. Puck Luck, kids. It's sponsored by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. David, are you making us money this time?
I sure as hell hope so, Rose. I've got 4 picks for you today. There's only 2 games, so I went with some alternate lines, but I got us some value. We're going to start with Detroit. The Red Wings are desperate for points, as we've talked about, so I'm going to take their man, Dylan Larkin, to go over 3.5 shots. He's hit that number in 5 straight games, including his first game back from injury on Tuesday in Ottawa, where he ripped 5 shots on 9 attempts. Detroit needs everything they get, and Larkin will be the man to carry them. Also, in Detroit, we're going to take Alex DeBrincat for an anytime point. He's got a point in 7 straight games and 11 of his last 12. The Cat is on fire, so we're going to loop those 2 in, and then we're going to go to the Rangers Blackhawks. We're going to take Mika Zibanejad to go over 2.5 shots on goal. He's hit that in 4 straight, and Chicago gives up the second most shots in the NHL. Mika had 3 in the Rangers' 3-0 loss to Chicago in December, and he's been shooting a lot lately. And in that game, we're also going to take Connor Bedard's alternate line at 2.5 shots. He's hit that in 5 of 6 and 8 of 10 on the road, and the Rangers allow a shit ton of shots as well. Parlay odds in this one, plus 667. Go make yourself some money ahead of a fun weekend.
Beautiful. Oh, give us a stat of the day. Of the week, sorry.
Hello, guys. Hi,
Hello.
David. Hi, Adnan. So the hockey stat of the week this week, Vegas is really struggling, huh, guys? What a weird year they're having out there. It looks like Mitch Marner and the Maple Leafs were really just kind of better off with each other, huh? So this stat from Puck Empire, for the first time in franchise history, the Vegas Golden Knights will not finish with more wins than losses in an NHL season. Obviously, Vegas has had unprecedented success for an expansion team, won a Stanley Cup very, very fast, went to the Stanley Cup final in their first year. Weird year out there in Vegas. I don't know if it's aging. I don't know if it's an injury to Mark Stone, what the deal is out there, but they've just never gotten off the ground. And a thing they don't do, Adnan, they don't beat good teams. It's really, really weird.
What do you think the odds
Vegas
were before the season? Oh, sorry, Adnan. That Steven Stamkos would finish with twice as many goals as Mitch Marner.
That's crazy.
That's a crazy stat. That's
Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
Nice.
Well, listen, I'm not going to mess with Sam Jackson as Pulp Fiction, but I think when I look at Vegas, I was talking to Shane Knighty, one of our colleagues on Prime. He obviously does a lot of the Vegas games. They always are behind. Then they have a crazy push to at least get in overtime, and they lose in overtime. Like, it's been such a frustrating situation for Vegas. They're not very good. They're clinging to a playoff spot, but wouldn't be shocked if they end up falling out of the playoffs. Oof. Feels like Anaheim wins the Pacific, then Edmonton and Vegas. Trying to hold on to that third spot, maybe a wild card, but yeah, shocking how bad they've been.
Oh, beautiful. Now I'm not gonna
Rose
give you...
falling asleep at the wheel. Come on.
No, so sorry. I was just trying to listen to something. I'm not gonna give you a minute of Rose because too much Rose now, so I'm gonna save you from that. But we're gonna go to wins and fails of the weeks, and because Adnan is our guest here, Adnan, I'm gonna go first to you to your win.
Okay, Brandon Montour, your favorite team, Rosey, the Kraken. I was watching the game last night in the highlights. He scores a terrific goal in overtime. I just thought it was a great hockey move. You hear this oftentimes in basketball as far as having a no-look pass. But look how good Montour is. Like that is the no-look shot there, David. He's got two guys he's potentially looking at, including Shane Wright, and then just wires the puck past Andrei Vasilevsky. Kraken had lost 4 straight games, and this was a critical win. Look at Vasilevsky's reaction. Critical win after they lost 4 straight against one of the best teams in hockey in beating the Lightning. So that is my win of the week.
Nice.
David?
My win of the week, also goaltender. Well, I guess that wasn't a goalie. We're kind of riding on Vasilevsky. But my win of the week is a goaltender. Flames young goalie Devin Cooley spoke about goaltenders showing emotion after giving up goals. Like, why can't we get pissed off? Like, what's wrong with that? I loved what he had to say. So let's play it real quick.
I think goalies should be allowed to show a little bit of emotion, like when they get scored on. You know, I don't really like the narrative that, oh, if they show emotion, that means like they're down and out and they're mentally soft or whatever. Like, I think if you get scored on, like, you should be allowed to be pissed for like 5-10 seconds, like throw a tantrum on the ice. I do it all the time in practice. I scream and I yell, and I would love to do that in a game without people like judging, being like, oh, he's mentally soft, you know, because you instead of internalizing it, you get it all out, and then like 10 seconds later, then you can smile about it and have a good time about it.
I love it. I love what he had to say there. I thought that was great. I think that he's right, too. Like, the idea that a goalie can't show emotion. Look, I used to kind of have that mindset where I'd be out there and I didn't want to like get pissed off and slam my stick against the post. I didn't want my teammates to be worried that I wasn't focused back there. But I think that was almost a detriment on my teammates, that why can't they be mentally strong? Why can't I be mentally strong? So I'm with you, Devin Cooley. Let's roll.
Okay, my win goes to the guy that I said was going to win the Cutler Trophy. So if he wins it, I'm going to take a winning lap. So it's this video here where he is trying to dunk it, or I don't know what he's trying to do. And he went into the crease. Look at
that. He's very good.
Yeah, Matthew Schaefer is
unbelievable player.
Yeah.
Matthew Schaefer.
That was a one-handed backhand with his wrist turned down. That was nuts.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you. I called it. What's yours?
My win of the week, guys, nobody is having more fun than Matthew Tkachuk since the Olympics, and he deserves it. You know, first of all, he's playing really well. Like, he's backing up all the talk that he had after the Olympics and kind of, you know, all the celebration that he did. He's playing really well. He's got 10 goals and 25 points in 24 games. But the other night before the Wild and Panthers played, we'll put this picture up here from the elbow room camera. There's Matthew Tkachuk, Brock Faber, Quinn Hughes, Matt Boldy, Kirill Kaprizov, and inexplicably Mark Cuban hanging out at the elbow room. I'm not really sure why Mark Cuban was with this group, but I just love this. Teammates at the Olympics still just embracing each other and enjoying life in the NHL and having a couple beers with the guys before the you go out and play them the next night. So I thought it was really cool to see those guys hanging and maybe doing a little recruiting for Quinn Hughes, who's a free agent in 2 years, but we can talk about that later. Rose, your fail, or Rose, who's next for fails?
We're going to fails because without fails, the wins don't feel wins. So Adnan, what's your fail?
I was at the game, Rosey, on Monday. Senators against the Rangers. It was the only hockey game that night, and the Rangers were absolutely atrocious. They managed, at least at the time we thought, 9 shots on goal, which would have been a franchise low. After the game, they got another shot awarded to them. Are you kidding me? Just a pity shot. So 10 shots on goal. An absolutely atrocious performance against the Ottawa Senators. On a night, David and Ethan and Rosey, in which Mika Zibanejad gets honored for playing in his 1,000th game, which is already strange, by the way. Normally you play the 1,000th game, they honor you the next night. But, of course, Ottawa's the team that drafted him. Okay, fine, we'll have the ceremony beforehand. Clearly wasn't going to be going hard out there in game 998, game 999. Didn't want to get hurt with game 1,000 on the horizon. But just a putrid performance by the Rangers. Love Madison Square Garden, but that was an awful fail of the week.
I was watching that game too, Adnan. I couldn't believe the effort level for Zibanejad's 1,000th game. That was crazy to me. Like, they just did not show up at all. They had like 4 shots through 2 periods. It was
4 shots
insane.
for 2, yeah.
David?
My fail of the week, we're going to the AHL. Another goaltender, Cal Peterson of the Iowa Wild, was kicked out of a game earlier this week for spearing the Chicago Wolves' Noel Gunler. Now, in Peterson's defense, you can see Gunler giving 2 or 3 good whacks at a loose puck, hitting Peterson in the upper body before Gunler was shoved into Peterson from behind, and then chaos ensued. Still, this is a big no-no, but I kind of get where he was coming from, and I may have speared somebody once or twice in my lifetime, so yeah.
Oh, no. Ethan?
My fail of the week goes to something we talked about on the big show earlier today. This tweet from the Minnesota Wild's play-by-play guy, I just did not understand it. There were 18,000 people in the Barn last night on a Thursday during Miami Music Week, and we're still trying to do digs at the Florida Panthers attendance after they've won 2 Stanley Cups now. I just don't understand what we were going on here. So this was a really lame moment for me, taking a shot at the Panthers attendance. Rosey, all you.
Before I close, my fail of the week is this video where the puck didn't go in. I don't understand how, because he was in the back, and he never got in. So yeah,
Make it make sense.
I don't play hockey, but that's my fail of the week. So thank you very much for surviving this episode with us. Thank you, Adnan, for joining us. It's always a pleasure having you.
Good job, Rose.
I appreciate it, guys. Good stuff, Rosey. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Adnan, you're the best.
And to close it up, there's Allmark on shootouts. I landed 15 seconds.
Make sure we don't have enough time to play that video. That video is too long. But make sure to subscribe to The Hockey Show on YouTube and watch us on DKN every week and on YouTube.
Instagram, Twitter.
Yep.
And he
TikTok.
said YouTube.
At Hockey Show DLS. We love you, Adnan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys.
The comedy movie event of the year, Mike and Nick and Alice. Now streaming only on Hulu and Disney+.
Time to party.
That's a great attitude.
It's a time-traveling, ass-kicking movie event.
You sound insane.
Starring Vince Vaughn, James Marsden, and Asa Gonzalez.
I thought you were a clone.
Well, clones aren't real, dummy.
And time machines are super grounded in reality.
Mike and Nick and Alice. Rated R. Written and directed by Ben David Grabinski. Only on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers.